J の英語スキルブースター。こんにちは、 J こと早川浩二です。
こんにちは、アシスタントのあきです。この番組は旅行や仕事で英語を使えるようになりたい方、TOEIC などの資格試験の勉強をしている方、英語学習へのモチベーションを高めたい方にスキルアップのコツをお伝えしていく番組です。 J さん、今回もよろしくお願いします。
よろしくお願いします。
J さん、今回もインタビューですね。
はい、今回も UAE のビジネスパーソンアム・サレムさんにインタビューさせていただきました。今回はビジネスと英語の関係とか、あとはアラブ文化について伺いました。
Okay, thank you very much for joining us this week too.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Okay, this time I'd like to ask you about English in a business situation in UAE. And like we talked last week, Arabic is the first language in UAE. And is English an official language?
I don't know about the government regulations, but definitely as the UAE is primarily an expat-based professional. I mean, there are a lot of expat professionals here in the country.
Yeah.
The common language would be English.
English. Okay.
Yep.
So do you use English at work and also in a daily life?
Definitely.
How about stores?
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
No exception. Yes. Even if you want to speak to public servants, I mean, the full spectrum, all the way from executives to everybody gets to speak English. The majority of the people would expect you to communicate in English. And yep, it is very important.
Okay. How about other countries in Middle East?
So we can dissect the Middle East into two because it's a little bit of the region. We can say there is a GCC, GCC nations, which are the countries that are overlooking the Arabian Gulf.
What does GCC stand for? Gulf?
Let me Google exactly what does but I think it's Gulf Committee, a Cooperation Committee, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. So nations overlooking the Gulf like Saudi Arabia, like Qatar, like Kuwait, like UAE, Bahrain, Oman. I hope I didn't forget anybody.
Okay.
So these nations, they have a lot of expats. And because they are very big economies, and they need to bring in professionals from across the world to fuel up the economy, basically.
Okay.
And the majority will be non-Arabic speakers. So yeah, definitely English is very important over here. While outside of the GCC nations, like for example Egypt, people speak in the big cities. People would speak, master a decent level of English, but definitely you need to. It's not big in the business culture because we don't have a lot of expats in Egypt. I am from Egypt.
Yeah.
But if you are a foreigner and or an expat and you end up landing on a job contract in Egypt, you would expect that English would be commonly used in that organization.
Okay.
So in general, if you want to find your way out of your own nation, whether it's Japan or any other, definitely English is a must.
Okay. You work in a financial industry, and do you use English at work?
I use both Arabic and English. But if you don't speak Arabic again, which is the case with most of my colleagues,
Mhm.
Arabic is a big plus, but it's not a must.
So as you mentioned, English is in business is really important. And
Yes.
what would happen if people couldn't speak English in UAE?
Oh, I don't think the model would have worked if people don't have a language to communicate. Yeah. So the UAE is a very unique model in the sense where you bring people with different expertise from different parts of the world. Just you're bringing them in mostly based on their technical qualification to do the job right. And then when they get to join a team, that team will be made of other nationalities.
Yeah.
You might get the chance to have one of your team members that would be sharing your own mother tongue, Arabic, or what Malayalam, or Hindi, or Chinese, Mandarin, or you might not be that lucky, and you will have to use English. So if you're from, let's say if you're from Japan, the Japanese community is not very big here.
Right.
So you will have to, English would be a must for you.
A must. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
unless we speak English, we have limited job opportunities in UAE.
I'm going to actually share something here with you. I don't know why, despite of the advancement in technology and the know-how for Japanese companies, and in general, people have a lot of respect for Japanese technology and product quality. You don't find many Japanese working abroad, and not many Japanese companies operating abroad. And you will mostly settle for people just having the franchise, just selling the franchise, and just getting the royalty and auditing the standard quality standards, and that's it. I think Japanese people should venture out of their comfort zone, go work abroad, and they will realize that they are being appreciated in other parts of the world. But English is a must. Yes.
So you recommend Japanese people to study?
And it is very good for the Japanese economy as well. Now that how the structure is going, and in Japan, one of the ways for Japanese economy to thrive is by foreign remittances. Basically, Japanese people working abroad and sending funds back home to Japan. So you have no burden on the government. Plus, you're bringing revenue and funds and foreign currency to the local Japanese market. And this will help a lot.
Yeah, you're right. The population of Japan is decreasing. And so what we need to do is to go outside Japan and invite people outside Japan to Japan. So in either case, we need to be able to speak English to communicate and do business.
Yes.
People. Okay. So how did you first study English in Egypt?
So I was lucky enough that my parents really deprived themselves from many pleasures in life to send me and my brother to good schools.
Okay.
So it started with going to normal schools. They will teach me English, but not very good quality teaching of English. And I would say that my fluency for the English language picked up, let's say, when I was at the age of 13 or maybe 12. Yeah. Yeah. So I think what matters is first your interest and how much you value the subject itself. Then you can really exert the effort as a child, as a teenager. If you think this fits in how you view the world. When I was a kid, I was always fascinated by foreign cultures, foreign music. Maybe because we rely heavily on tourism. It's about 12% of our GDP. So we see a lot of tourists especially where I grew up. I used to see tourists almost on daily basis. So, and at some point in my childhood, I was also spending my summers in resorts where my father used to work in one of the resorts. So I valued learning a foreign language. And though I took personal interest in it, and I think paired with good schools, that's where I somehow managed a decent level of a foreign language.
Okay.
If there is a native speaker listening to me now, don't pick on my accent, okay? Thank you very much.
When you travel around the world, do you study that language of the country? Like, so for example, like when you visited Japan, did you study Japanese?
Yes, it's beautiful to try to understand some of the words and to as well pick some up. Maybe have a little note where you can write them down and write how they are being pronounced. Locals really appreciate this. When I was in Japan, I found that people really appreciated it, and Japanese people are also very sweet and friendly in a sense that the slightest effort you will do trying to speak their own language, they are going to praise you like a child. Yeah, which is very sweet, actually. I find it, and encouraging at the same time. Yeah,
it is the same around the world. Like, we are really happy if the foreign visitors speak, even like a konnichiwa, arigato, ohayo gozaimasu. We're really happy. But is that the same for that world?
In the Middle East, it is the case. If you speak one Arabic word, people are going to be very appreciative of it, and they are going to treat you very, very, very nicely because they appreciate you doing this, taking that. They appreciate your effort, basically.
I see.
Yeah.
So,
and I find it very common in many countries around the world. Yes.
Okay. So after as a grown-ups, what do you think is the best thing to do to learn a foreign language?
As an adult, to learn a new language.
Yeah.
Just go there. Just go to that country. Go there, live there, have friends from that place. I don't know. Yeah, just social interaction. Have friends from that place.
Yeah.
And the primary factor would be you should have personal interest into the culture and the language and the liking to the people. If you have those three, you will definitely learn the language in a very short time.
That's right. Yeah. Okay. The ability to speak English is, of course, important and a must. But I think we need to have other skills to build a good relationship with people. And what advice would you give to people interested in working in Arabic culture?
I think a main rule, the rule of thumb would be learn about the culture, the norms, what to do, what not to do, wherever you are going, whether it's the Middle East or other regions. So things that people would appreciate, maybe you need to learn how to do it. Things that people might like, body language, hand gestures, how to enter people's homes, how to eat, what is the dining etiquette in that country, stuff like that. Yeah.
What's special about the dining etiquette in the Arabic countries or UAE? Do you have any special?
So, I'll just take it as an example just to compare. So in Japan, it is considered normal. And probably it is even considered appreciative to make like a slurping sound when you're dining, when you're eating your meal. In the Middle East, this is considered as not a very good behavior. So if I'm eating in Japan, I will need to understand that I need to do that. So I make whoever is inviting me or people that are enjoying the meal along, feel that they are welcomed, and I'm appreciating the opportunity. But yeah, you need to adapt based on where you are. So the norms and the customs. You need to eat with your right hands when you're in the Middle East. It's appreciated. When you eat with your left hand, people might think it's a little bit because people think here that the left hand is unclean.
Yeah.
So if you share a meal, especially if you're sharing the same dish with someone and you're using your left hand, they might get a little bit uncomfortable.
Oh, I see.
Being said, here in the Middle East, people get to see a lot of foreigners, and they are tolerant to change to people with different behaviors. So if you do it, they will not be negative about the person who's doing it. They will understand that that person is a foreigner and they don't know the customs.
Okay, but of course, it's much better to learn it from before.
Yeah, it's always advised to do your homework before you do it. Come
on. What's the best way or a good way to make friends with people in UAE? What people do you like as a business person or business partner?
So in general, people here are friendly. They are always open. They are not afraid of the other. We don't have a phobia.
Okay.
So if you're a foreigner, people will be welcoming to you. People will be, they are not going to be, I don't know about other parts of the world, but over here, if you're a foreigner, you'll realize that people are opening their arms wide to welcome you and have a friendly chat. And so on. Especially if you're Japanese. Japanese people and Japanese culture is widely respected and appreciated in the Middle East.
Okay.
So if you can master a little bit of English and know a little bit of Arabic, people will be very excited. It will definitely pay off.
Okay. What should we learn first? First, Arabic. Is it the greeting?
You need to learn, of course, like how to say hello, how to say thank you, how to accept body touching. So in the Middle East, we are a little bit of, we are expressive, and we tend to use our hands to express our feelings, like tapping the shoulders, stuff like that. So in Japan, people are not used to that, and their body is kind of considered as a sacred fort.
Right.
It's not common for people to touch each other without a reason, but here in the Middle East, no, it is common.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's common that I would give you a hug. It's common that I'm gonna tap your shoulder like that. Yeah.
Okay. So how do you say hello in Arabic?
You can say Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Yes, perfect.
Okay. So thank you is I learned it. Shukran.
Yay!
Shukran. Shukran. Okay. And yalla.
Yalla. So Jay. So next time when you come here, I'm gonna make a plan for you. Every day you're gonna learn like a few words.
Okay.
And I'm gonna make you a test at the end of in the airport. If you don't pass the test, you're not going back to Japan.
So by the time I come back to Japan, I must be fluent.
Yes, I'll make sure you are.
Okay. So about the culture, you don't drink alcohol.
No, alcohol is not part of the culture over here.
Well, in Japan, we have like kind of drinking party after work. In Japan, it's decreasing, but the number is decreasing. But we still have that kind of event to.
Yeah.
And do you have that custom in at work? in UAE?
So we don't have a drinking culture in the Middle East. Alcohol is frowned upon for people. Drinking alcohol culturally is not accepted.
I see. Yeah.
Though you will find some households enjoying it at their own discretion, privately, in their own family gatherings. But people don't drink in the public. People cannot walk in the streets drinking.
Okay.
So drinking is not part of the culture. Not to mention business culture. And instead, there might be socializing in the office where people are going to bring maybe a nice meal to the office and sharing it with everybody, and you will have a gathering over a nice meal. It will be a treat, and so on. People connect at the office.
At the office.
Yeah, at the office during the working hours, not after the working hours, and no midnight shows.
Okay. Is it for a special occasion, or is it like naturally they bring food to the office?
We like to have a good time, so we just look for whatever occasion and we make a party out of it. So yeah.
Okay.
And if there's no occasion, we just create one occasion.
What was the last time you had that experience at work?
Not so long ago. I mean, it happens quite often, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So every month or two, there will be some occasion, and people are gonna gather over a nice meal, share a few jokes, and have a good time, and then it will take maybe 20 minutes, half an hour, and then everybody's back to work again.
Oh, that's nice. Only for 20, 30 minutes.
I mean, for the person who's preparing it, it might take longer.
Yeah.
But for the people that are just enjoying the time, yeah, it's about 20, 30 minutes.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
So it's not during the lunchtime, but during the work hours.
It depends. If it's sweets, if it's, it could be a proper meal, it could be a lunch meal. Yeah.
Oh, I see. So do you work overtime often?
Well, you're expected to deliver. So overtime depends on your job, basically. For me, I need to deliver. You get assigned a job, you have a deadline, you meet the deadline. You meet it in 1 hour, you meet it over the weekend. That's not. I mean, that's up to you how you manage your time.
Okay.
Doing certain number of hours apart from the official. Let's say the official number of hours are 9 hours.
Yeah.
Doing more than 9 hours is up to you. Depends on your delivery.
Okay.
We don't. It is sometimes depends again on the manager and on the culture of the organization. Some organizations would, or not even the whole organization. Depends on the line manager actually, and which So I understand that some would feel obliged to stay in the office because the line manager is in the office.
Yeah.
So it's a matter of courtesy and and maybe if they leave, they will not be appreciated. But I think this is changing very fast, and I would say a big deal of especially the big organizations don't expect you to do that.
Okay.
You'll be assigned a job and you need to deliver, and you can finish it from home. You don't have to stay past the working hours, the 9 hours.
So as long as you finish the work and as long as you meet the deadline, that's fine.
Yeah, you might only be required to spend the official working hours in the office.
Okay.
Maybe you requested gently to do 1 hour or two extra, depends on the situation. But usually it's it's about delivering. It's not about.
Okay. So I'm sure listeners are interested in traveling in the UAE or working in the UAE. Could you give our listeners a message?
Yeah. So my message would be watashi wa nihon ga suki desu. So guys, come over. Yeah, we are waiting for you. No, it's different from Japan. I mean, whatever that you're going to experience over here is completely exotic from a Japanese perspective.
Yeah.
I mean, the food, the culture, the landscape. So it's definitely going to be a very memorable trip and definitely a very good time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's only 12, not only, but it's 12 hours by airplane. So it's not too far. What was the time difference? Is it 5 hours?
Yes, it's 5 hours between Tokyo and Abu Dhabi.
Okay. So, okay. Okay, thank you. It was really nice talking to you, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in the near future in UAE or in Tokyo.
I'm waiting for you.
Yeah,
and hope to see you soon, Jay.
I'm coming over after coronavirus situation has been resolved.
Yes, yeah, and be safe. I hope, I hope this comes to an end soon.
Yeah. Okay.
All the best.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jay.
Thank you.
Useful expressions.
続いてはビジネスや日常で使えるお役立ち表現をご紹介いただきます。 J さん、今回の表現は何でしょうか？
はい、今回は As far as I know As far as I know 私が知る限りという感じですね。
はい、
はい。100% そうだとはちょっとわからないけど、私が知る限りは、そうですねとかって言いたい時に使うのは、この前置きとして、As far as I know なんとかなんとかですね。
そうですね。
As far as I know, the meeting will be held in room 201とかですね。私が知る限りは、会議は201の部屋だったかなっていう感じです。
確約はできないけどっていうニュアンスが伝わりますよね。
なので私が知る限りそうだけどちょっと確認してっていう感じですかね。
絶対じゃないけどねっていう前置きになりますね。
そうですね。I think とかでもいいですけどね。
あ、そうか、I think、
と思いますよなんですけども、それよりは確信しているけど、ちょっとその後変更になったかもしれませんみたいなのをちょっと残しておくのがこの As far as I know
そうですね。
ですね。
これ As far as I know ですごいよく言われてるので、それしかなんか言えないのかなと思ってたんですけど、As far as I can tell っていう言い方もできるんですね。確かに、私が言える範囲ではっていう、ついついなんか As far as I know ってすごくもうセットな感覚が強いので、
そうですね。
それでよく使うんですけど、でも As far as I can tell、It will rain tomorrow、私が言える範囲では明日雨だってよみたいな感じでもいいのかなって。
なるほど、そうですね。このファーというのはもう私が知っている知識の限りではみたいな感じですね。そこまでの遠さではみたいな。
そうですね。範囲を表す感じですよね。
As far as ですかね。あとは As far as I'm concerned とかですね。
そういう言い方もありますね。
As far as I'm concerned で、私に関して言えばとか、あなたたちは知らないけどまでのニュアンスは出ないですけど、あくまでこれは私のことなんですけど、みたいなのが As far as I'm concerned なんとかなんとかですね。
すごく使いやすいですよね。
使いやすい。
断定したくない時とかにやっぱり使えるかなと思います。
あと as で使うのが as long as 何々。
これが本当に混乱するポイントだなって思うんですよね。これ条件なんですよね。
そうですね。as long as you stay in this room、この部屋にいる限りは、you can do anything you want、みたいな感じなんでもしてもいいですよ。
範囲じゃなくてこう条件なんですよね。
そうですね。ここは頭で覚えるというよりは実際に使ってみて覚えるっていうものですかね。As far as I know とか As far as I'm concerned とか、As long as なんとかなんとかですね。
ぜひ使って、ちょっと違いはやっぱり使いながら感じる方がいいですよね。頭で理解するよりも。そうですね。
使うかもしくは調べてみてどう使われているかっていうのを、一気に大量に読んでいくといいかもしれないですね。
そうすると自然にこういう場合に使うんだっていう感覚的なものが得られますよね。
そうですね。そう、最終的にはその感覚に持っていきたいんですね。ルールというよりは感覚にまでいくとこのネイティブの感覚を手に入れることができますからね。
できますね。 第20回をお送りしました。J さん、
はい、
また UAE って行きたいですか
？UAE 行きたいですね。
はい、どんなことをまたしたいなってありますか
？UAE とかドバイとかアブダビとか聞いて、アキさんどういうイメージですか？
暑いっていうイメージがあります。
暑いですね。
気候的には、
はい、そうですね。夏行ったら死ぬって言いますからね、はい、夏は来るなと言われましたからね。
そうなんですか。
そうですね、はい。インタビューでも多分あったと思いますけども、常夏どころじゃないですね。灼熱ですね。
そうですか、はい、暑さは J さん大丈夫でしたか？行かれた時は。
行った時は20度とかなので。
そうなんですね、
だいぶ涼しかったですけどね、はい、夏は50度とか言いますからね。
外に出れない状況ですよね。
無理ですよね。だから10月から3月ぐらいまでがいいっていうふうには聞きますけどね。
お食事とかはどうなんですか？
食事はサウジ料理とか。
何が主なんですかね？
チャーハンみたいな感じですかね。
米料理なんですか？
米料理ですね。カレーみたいなやつとか、っていうのが、行った時はそういうところで食べましたね。あとは建物が特徴的で、キラキラしてる建物とか、そうですよね、変な形の建物とか、
変な形、デザインが凝ってるってことなんですか？デザイン凝ってますね。
斜めになってるとか、それこそピサの斜塔みたいな感じで最初から斜塔みたいな。
それなんでしょうね。オフィスとして使ってるビルなんですか？
と思いますけどね。
すごい斜めになってる。
斜めになってるんですよね。
おっとっとってなるんですかね？な
らないでしょうね。そらならないでしょうね。
すいません。
びっくりしちゃいますよね。そう
ですよね。うまくなってるんですね。
と思いますけどね。はい。でもまた行きたいのは、いろいろ見て回りたいですね。前回アブダビがメインだったので、次回ドバイの世界一高いビルとか、いろいろ見てみたいですね。
回りきれなかったっていうことですか？前回は
2日しかいなかったので、さすがに美術館。
じゃあまだまだありますね。
ですね。結構時間かかる美術館とか、ルーブル美術館とか、あとはプレジデンシャルパレスみたいな感じで、宮殿みたいなところなので、そこでだいぶ時間かかりますからね。
あれ美術館は行かれた？
美術館も行きました。
あれなんか縄文土器があったっておっしゃってましたよね。
縄文土器があったのがルーブル美術館ですね。
そうなんですね。
なのであんまりいろんなところに行ったっていうことではないので、もうちょっと、1週間ぐらいいたらまた違うんだろうなって気がしますけどね。
より人との交流もありそうですね。それだけ滞在すると。
そうですね。やっぱタクシーの運転手さんはみんな英語使いますし、店とかもそうですね。
交流はなんかありましたか？現地の方
タクシーの運転手さんと話したぐらいですかね。
結構気軽に話してくれるような。
話してくれますね。インド人の運転手さんとか、あとタクシーの運転手さん女性が多かったですね。インド人の方には英語は小学校から学ぶのかどうかとか、そういうのを聞いて、職業柄。
なるほど。
そしたら、そうですね、そうだって言ってましたね。
いや、そう考えると英語喋ると面白いですね。いろんな話が聞けて。
そうですね、いろんな人と話せるっていうのは、そうですね。また行きたいですね。暑くない時に行きたいですね。
はい。さて、この番組ではリクエストやご感想をお待ちしています。メッセージは J さんのウェブサイト J's ブースターステーションにお問い合わせフォームがありますので、お気軽にお送りください。また毎日配信の単語メールボキャブラリーブースターの購読もおすすめです。なお来週の配信はお休みです。 J さん、今週もありがとうございました。
ありがとうございました。 Thank you for listening. Have a nice golden week.